how to use a DeWalt miter saw. Before we get started, you want to make sure that you have the proper protective gear on. So you want to have eye protection on, such as glasses like the ones I'm wearing, or goggles. You want to make sure that your hair, if it's long, is secured back in a ponytail or a bun. You want to make sure that your clothes that you're wearing are tight-fitting, so that way they're not loose and get stuck in the blade or any other machine that you're using. You also make sure that you're wearing closed-toed shoes. This is really important so that your feet don't get hurt. As well as today, I am wearing gloves for that extra security. Today, we'll be working with a sliding miter saw. It's known as a sliding miter saw because it can slide back and forth like so. It can also pivot this way and that way. As well as for those angle cuts, it goes this way. Some safety features on this machine is this safety guard around the blade. This makes sure that you can't cut yourself, such as your fingers or hands or anything like that, as well as it captures the debris when you first start that cut from hitting you. Everything about this saw has a locking mechanism to make sure that when you start that cut, that this saw is staying in place. Okay, so we're going to be doing 3 different cuts today. We're going to be doing a straight cut at 0 degrees, a straight cut at 45 degrees, and then an angle cut at 45 degrees. So to make sure that this machine is ready for the straight cut at 0 degrees, we want to make sure that it's secure in place. The 3 places we're going to check for this is in the pivot right here. Make sure that it's secured on that track. To make sure that it doesn't slide while making that cut, we're going to go back here and make sure that this knob right there is nice and secure, as well as this knob that makes sure that the blade does not angle while I'm making a cut. Next, we're going to measure out our block using this square and pen. We're going to be doing a 5-inch cut. So we're going to line up our square right here. Do 5 inches. We're going to make a nice little mark right there at the 5-inch mark. And then line it up this way. Make a nice clear line. So when we get this under the blade, we'll be able to see it. Now we're ready to make that cut. We have the block here on the blade now. Now that we're dealing with the saw, we want to make sure that you keep your hands away from the blade at all times, regardless of if it's on or off. So now we have the block, we're going to make sure that it's lined up perfect for our cut. As you can see, we have the line that we drew. We're going to pull down the blade, keeping our finger off the trigger to see if that guideline aligns with the line that we drew. As you can see, that lines up nice and perfect, keeping your free hand away from the blade even while you're guiding that block into the perfect position. We'll let up on that. We are ready to go. Before you make the cut, you want to make sure that your left hand is holding the block nice and secure against this panel to make sure the block does not move while we make the cut. You'll use your right hand on the handle. When you're ready, you'll pull the trigger and pull down on the blade and have that steady pressure. Once you hit the wood, keep the steady pressure so that way you can cut all the way completely through the block. Once you've completed that cut, let go of the trigger and slowly let the blade rise back up, and then your cut will be complete. We're going to prepare our saw for the 45-degree angle straight cut. We're going to get that angle on the pivot by pressing down on this tab here at the end and sliding it over to 45 degrees. You'll hear that click. That means that it's secure and ready to go. We also want to make sure that our other points of security are secure by making sure that this knob is nice and tight, keeping that angle, and that this knob right here is tight so that it doesn't slide while we're making the cut. Now our machine is prepared to make the cut. Next, we're going to be making our measurements on our block for our 45-degree angle straight cut using the square and pen again. So, I'm going to measure out 4 inches, make our mark there, and then this will be 45-degree angles. We will align our angle up with that, and then make our mark nice and clear again, just to make sure that when we get this under the blade, we'll be able to see right where we're going to cut. And we're ready to make our cut. Now we're going to prepare the machine for the 45-degree angle cut by moving the angle down. So you want to make sure that you keep your hand either to the side of the handle, make sure that you're staying away from the trigger. And we are going to pull it down to 45 degrees, right there. And then secure it in place. Make sure that knob is nice and tight. Like we said, this is going to be on the 0 degree on the pivot, so that's set and secure. And the slider is secured on that knob. And we're ready to make the cut. Okay, now we're going to get our block ready for our 45-degree angle cut using our square and pen again. So we are going to measure out 4 inches. I'm going to make a mark here. And then get this nice and secure there. And then make our line again straight across this board. Make sure it's nice and visible, so when we get it under the blade, we'll be able to see it. And we're ready to make a cut. Today we learned how to use the DeWalt sliding miter saw. We learned the different safety features it has and how to use it. We learned how to make a 0-degree straight cut as well as a 45-degree straight cut and then a 45-degree angle cut. We learned how to measure out our blocks and do all the things necessary to use this saw.